Alright guys, I thought I did this on another video, but apparently I'm wrong. I mean, I was mistaken. I ain't never wrong. Right. Alright, so I'm just going to go over what all I've done to the axe. Just to show you, because I thought I had, and I don't guess I have. So what I'm running is I'm running 20% overdrive in the front. I'm running 50 turn, 50 series, purple motor, INJORA, MB100 ESC for the moment. Tell you what here in a minute. I'm running ramp crab 6 kg servo front and rear. I got ramp crab steering links here on the front. I have ramp crab back here. I've got the INJORA metal transmission gears. I have taken. Okay, wait, oh, just a second. Brain gaggle. There we go. Alright, so I have the INJORA carbon fiber frame. And you can see it a little bit there. I took the original chassis and I cut one of the rails in half. And I added it to the back of the frame here to make frame extensions to move my shock mounts. I have fabricated my own links out of steel. Didn't have any rod ends or anything at the time, so just in case y'all need to know what'll work for a rod end, heat shrink. Put heat shrink over top the end of your rod. Make sure you drill your hole first. Take just a little bit bigger than what your screw is going to be. I know, don't sound like that should work because it sounds like a break. Well, knock on wood, it hadn't yet. But I just took the heat shrink, put it over top of the ends, and I just poked my screw through the heat shrink. I didn't wire it out, didn't drill it out, didn't do nothing like that. Because that's what I'm using basically for my rod end, so it'll have some flex, have some movement. Seems to be doing okay. Now, let's see. Can you see? Alright, well, see right here in the wheel? See the copper looking ring? That's because it's a brass bushing that I took and cut to make fit. It fit perfectly inside the wheel. Just puts me some super glue in there and stuck real good. Now I got like 125 BBs, I think in each front, and like 75 in the back. I raised my upper rear links with a little bit of hot glue. Well, it's basically the hot glue is just there to hold it until I got it mounted. This is a servo mount that I got from one of the servos that I burn up because I'm not very smart man sometimes. It is what it is. But it made it to where I can put my links up here. I did bend my links here. Now I bought a set of INJORA, AXIAL small, medium, large links. So these are gladiator length links. And then I took and I made high clearance links for the bottom and the top on the front as well. And I can't remember exactly which ones that I used. I believe it was both of the longest sets that I had in the pack. I'm running the Hot RC 6T, 6A transmitter and the 6-channel receiver, so that I do have independent 4-wheel steer. It's just it's not proportional like this one. There it comes. See, brain just takes a minute. Gotta go through all them filing cabinets. You know, remember on Men in Black, and all them filing cabinets go flying out through there. And, well, that's the way my brain works. So it takes a minute sometimes. It's there. You just gotta get it out of that file cabinet, if you know what I mean. Now, the reason that I said that I was going to, it would be maybe on the MB 100. I'm having a problem. This thing goes just fine fast forwarding it, or going forward, but in rewind, it does not do very good at all. I mean, it will not even back over my hand on flat table in reverse. Now, that being said, I have shimmed the differentials. See if I can. There's no sticking either way. They're moving smooth both ways. I have tried the reversing of the steering. Didn't work. Now, I know the MB100 version 1 is 50%, and they say version 2 is 80%, but this is nowhere near either one of them. I mean, it's like 1%, 2%. It don't have enough torque to even back up over my hand. Now, if you can't tell, I totally took every bit of the battery tray and all that stuff out. So I had to put some frame stiffeners in. Don't mind the hot glue. This is just trial and error experimental stuff that I'm doing with this rig. So I don't really care what it looks like on the inside as long as it works. I made a battery tray right here. So my 2-cell 750 milliamp, I believe, maybe 850. I'll have to look. Battery fits perfect right here on the front. Now I did take and I repositioned my upper mounts outboard of the frame, and that's, I mean, that gives it all kinds of flex, which you really can't tell with it not sitting on the ground, I know, but I mean, this thing twists up like a daggone, like a bread tie, you know. Does very well, very well, going up and down hills. Side hills, still a little bit of a problem, but I do have 4mm hexes all the way around. Hex extension, sorry. Trying to think what else. Oh, I took my springs off the front because I wasn't getting any luck whatsoever with just using a rubber band or making limit straps for this whatsoever. I just wasn't getting any good performance out of it. So shout out to Cape Crawlers, because he was the one that I was watching. He suggested it, and I believe a few other guys did too. So apologize if I don't remember exactly everybody. I just happen to remember Cape Crawlers was one that I watched that I did decide to do it with. So my rewind problems, sorry to get back to that. I've shimmed the differentials. They're running fine. I'm not getting any binding. My pinion angles are fine. Now, whenever I extended these, I didn't have any extra drive shafts. I didn't have any money to get any drive shafts. Hence the reason I made my own links. So I took, finally went and got some drive shafts, because what I did on this one was I just made it a solid drive shaft. Took both ends out, put a piece in the middle, and just made it a solid drive shaft. That had a little binding, but nothing major. But there is no binding on this shaft whatsoever, even when it's fully depressed. And there's none on this one. So, that being said, the only thing that any of us have been able to come up with, and that's James R.C. Garage, Family Crawlers, Beard over there, Rock Wolf RC, Skivvy Skiv over there sliding sideways, 24 Yelp and his buddies over there on his channel, Max Paul 11, all of us. We've been just knocking our heads trying to figure out what's wrong with this thing, and we can't figure it out. So I remembered. I don't know what I did with it. I must have put it over there somewhere. That I had bought a 66 turn 50 series motor a while back, and it wasn't an INJORA. It was an off-brand. I don't remember exactly what kind, but it came with an ESC. I never used it, and I still had it. I just wasn't thinking, I guess, especially all these times that I was, over there on the Mofo Misfits live or Skevy Skevs live or Jay's over there. James's. I have a 18th scale, little basher ESC that I could use as well if this one doesn't work, to try it. But I'm just, throwing stuff to the wall here to see if it sticks. Trying to think if there's anything else. I'm still running the stock axles, the stock gears except for the front, 20% overdrive. Running the stock steering on the back. And I did, to stiffen up this ramp crab here, I don't remember why I had to stiffen it up, because they're pretty much good and tight when you get them. But I put a piece of wire in behind it and tightened it down, and it seemed to help out a lot. To get the stock to quit bending and flexing so much, I took a zip tie and zip tied the pitman arm to the drag link. Yes, I know. I'm talking big cars. Well, that's all my experience in big cars, except for back whenever I was a kid and having toy grade stuff. High end toy grade stuff as you could get from Montgomery Ward back in. But I was young enough, I didn't work on them. If I tore it up, I just threw it in a toy box or whatever, didn't mess with it no more. So I'm learning on these. Where was I going with that? Total loss of thought. Train went whoop whoop. Chugga all the way through one ear and out the other, and just took what I was saying with it. I don't know. So I'm going to try that other ESC here in a bit, see if that'll help it with the rewind problem. And if it is, I'm going to get in contact with INJORA. They've been pretty cool, because I bought this as a combo, the MB100 and the 50 turn 50 series motor, and I plugged them in, and I had a jumper cable, and I made it wrong, so I flip-flopped my wires and zapped both the motor and the ESC both at the same time. So I talked to them, and they sent me new ones, thank goodness. They were good people over there. I'm not sponsored or anything, if you can tell. I only got 35 subscribers, so I ain't blowing no smoke, because ain't no reason to. They ain't getting nothing out of it. Now I did decase my receiver, and I did use hot glue to waterproof it. Works great, wonderfully. Except be careful if you have hot glue around your ESC, because I had it on the case from where, using it as experimental, I don't need it to be permanent yet. You know, I want to wait till I get everything the way I want it before I make it permanent. I'm staying close. So I was picking the hot glue off of there. Well, I thought I did, and I pulled it. Well, my antenna was in that hot glue. Luckily, it left about this much of the antenna left out, so it still runs. But that being said, you know, I do know and am able to replace the antenna on the on the receiver if I have to, because this one, luckily, is one of them that snaps on. The last few of them that I had, or one that I had, the combo, the Spectrum, wasn't replaceable. And I burned it up trying to resolder the wire in whenever I screwed the antenna up on it. I can't remember how I did it. But, yeah, this one's easier to replace. So, other than that, that's what I got for you. And I want to thank everybody for subscribing and liking the stuff. I know I'm new, and I know this stuff shakes. And the camera shots aren't real good, and the camera resolution isn't real good, but we're working on to fix that, aren't we, Bopper? That's my buddy right there. That's my boss man and brother. You know, closest thing I have to a brother, except for my other buddy Andrew, which was my first subscriber to the channel 6 months ago. Whenever I told him I was going to do it, he just subscribed as soon as I did. I hadn't even started making content till a month ago. So, love you, brother. Other than that, please subscribe, like, hit the clickety, the boomity, the bleep bleeps, and all that stuff, as old vice grip Derek could say over there. And I guess that's about it. Oh, and I am building a boat trailer for the airboat. There'll be something coming on it here pretty soon. I started with something, and I already showed you all that. Yeah, it's not going to work out the way I want it to. It's just way too heavy. So, thought of something else. I'm just going to make me a good off-road camping trailer for the moment. And we'll see what y'all think about that. I've got it started. I'm going to do a video on it here in a little bit, probably. Just showing what I'm doing, how I'm doing. Taking, and it will have suspension. It's going to be pretty cool, I think. You know, now, considering this is West Virginia Redneck RS, it's going to be a hillbilly camping trailer. Might have a roof and a stovepipe and everything coming out of it before I get done. So, who knows? Wait and see. Please subscribe. Thank y'all for staying here the whole video. And like XO Cage says, man, you are the best. You are the bee's knees. No, what is it? How he says? Sorry, XO, I screwed it up. If you happen to see this, but y'all keep straight out there. Peace out, Girl Scouts.